So hello everyone, we are back again at SQL tutorial Ebikacho by Ebikacho Groups. So today's video agenda is this is the SQL Server System String Function Part 3, and this is the last part of string function. So what we are going to discuss today, let's move on to next slide and check. So the string function that we will discuss in this part third, so that are replace, reverse, replicate, difference, string split, stuff, concat ws, soundex, and then at last we will discuss the space. So before proceeding to this part 3, we will check what are all the string functions that we have already covered. Okay. So in part 1 we have covered the left, right, ltrim, rtrim, trim, upper, lower, str, and in part 2 we have already discussed like ASCII, char, nchar, Unicode, len, char index, substring, pad index, and quote name. Okay. Now let's move with our first function of today's video. So today we have the first function as the replace function in SQL Server. So what the replace function is doing? So the replace function in SQL Server is used to replace all occurrences of a specified substring within a string with another substring. Okay, so basically replace will replace a group of, or you can say single or a group of, means all occurrences of a particular substring from a string value. Okay, so it's helpful when you need to modify or clean up string data in your database. So basically, what is the use of this replace? We will go and check in SSMS, and then it will be much clearer to us. So basically, the syntax for replace is replace string expression, then a string pattern which we want to replace, and then a string replacement by which string part, by which thing we want to replace that string pattern. Okay, so let's move to SSMS. Now click on SSMS, then we will open this. Okay, okay, now connect to local, and then database. We can open a new query window on our own database, which is Abicacho. So open a new window, query window. Okay, so if you can see, I am hiding my object explorer so that we will get extra space for querying. So for this particular thing also, I will make a clear, means separate video, so that there we will discuss this, or how to means pin this one object explorer and unpin this, and then something about the SSMS working like files, edit, view, query, project, tools window, what are the things we have. So that we will discuss in a separate video. I will create a separate video for that. Okay, now let's move on to the topic. So we are going to discuss the replace function. So basically, if we get a string like this, let's take, we are getting India, India versus versus Australia, Australia. Okay. Now in this particular string, if you want, and then we have something like at the rate sign or hash sign. We have, let's take one sign for now. So at the rate sign in the middle. So now this particular is not looking so good. So if you want to replace that at the rate from a, you can say space, or with no space also, we want to replace that particular at the rate. So what we will use, the replace function we can use here. So write the query. Okay, select replace PLAC replace C. The IntelliSense is also providing us the replace function. So how to open the IntelliSense, that also we will discuss in that separate video only. So now the string name. So here it is showing like replace function requires three arguments. So first argument will be our string name, and then the second argument will be what we want to, which pattern we want to replace, or which character we want to replace. Okay, so we want to replace here at the rate. Okay, by what we want to replace, we just want to replace it, we don't want anything there. So for that particular, you can give only open and close quote. Okay, now execute this query. So what we are getting, give some space here so that it will be clear to everyone. Now execute this query. So see, here we are getting India versus Australia. Okay, now also alias this as replaced, replaced. Okay, Okay. Now similarly, if we have some space also here, then it will look little better. So there is some space here. Okay, but at versus and at the rate Australia, there is no space. So we can replace it from a space also. So under the quote, you can press one space. Okay. Now then execute, press Control R, then execute this. Okay, now you are seeing it is coming like that. So anything, any character you want to replace it from, so you can use replace function. So one more example, in place of at the rate, we want India versus at the rate, we want versus es also we can add we versus. So we want to replace the same full pattern we will replace now. So vs at the rate replace this particular pattern from versus sus versus and then one space. Okay, so that it will be clear to us. Okay, now execute this. So now see India versus Australia and spaces are also coming. Okay, so I think replace is clear to everyone. Now move on to our next function. So next what we have, go to the PPT. So after replace we have the reverse. So reverse function in SQL Server, what it is doing? So we will check. The reverse function in SQL Server is used to return the reverse order of a string's character. Okay, reverse order of a string character means if you provide any string, then it will reverse the order of the characters. Okay, it's a simple yet handy function for tasks where reversing the sequence of a string is required. Okay, so whenever you want to means reverse a string, then you can use this particular reverse function. So go to SSMS and check how it is working. So we will take India, string name India. Okay, now we will reverse this particular name. So put the comments so that we will not get any error sign. So for putting the comment, I have already told, like we will click here, select the line which you want to which you want to comment, and then click on this particular thing. And for uncommenting, click the second one, uncomment, then comment. Okay, this is clear. Okay, so now move on to reverse function. So select reverse India. So what it will do, we will check, then paste. Now execute. Only single parameter is required here, single expression. So we'll execute it. So you can see A, I, D, and I. So it has reversed the order of the characters. Okay, has reversed. C, D, reversed. Now Control R and then execute one more time. So we are getting like reversed name of India. Okay. Similarly, we can do for other also, other character like Australia, we can also do one time, because we have kept Australia also here, so we will reverse the name of Australia also. Australia. Now you can check. So Australia also got reversed. AIL and then a reversed order. Okay, so I think this is clear to everyone. Now move on to our next string function. So what we have after reverse? So we have replicate. Okay, so what it will do? The replicate function in SQL Server is used to repeat a specified string a given number of times. Okay, so basically replicate function is used to repeat a given string. Specified number means how much we want to repeat it that much time. Okay, this is useful for tasks like formatting output or creating repeated pattern. Okay, so if you want to repeat any pattern, then we can use this replicate function. So the syntax for replicate is also very simple, like replicate string expression and then integer expression. So this integer expression is for number of time we want to replicate that particular means string. Okay, so now move on to SSMS and we will check how we are going to replicate this. So again we will take like India as our string. So copy this and then so we can use a new query window. Now select replicate replicate. So IntelliSense is providing the correct thing. PLI replicate. Okay, now then India, and then it is telling for expression varchar and then expression int. So int is the number of time we want to replicate or repeat that particular string. Means India we want to, let's repeat for 5 times. Okay, as repeated we can mention td repeated. So now execute this query. So what you are seeing, India, 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 it is replicating 5 times. We can provide a space also here so that it will be much clearer to us. So see, India, 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 and 5 times it is replicating. So similarly, if you want to replicate any string, you can use this replicate function. So there are some requirements come in your companies, like sometimes you need to replicate for some security purposes or some data formatting things. So at that time, this particular function is very useful. Okay, and also in interviews, people will ask about replicate function and all. Okay, now let's move on to our next function. So next what we have? Next we have the difference function. Okay, so what it is doing? So the difference function in SQL Server is used to compare the similarity between two strings by returning a value based on their SOUNDEX value. Okay, so basically a SOUNDEX function we will also discuss today only. But SOUNDEX, what it is trying to tell, like it measures how similar two strings sound when spoken in English, and in is useful for tasks like fuzzy string matching. Okay, so basically what difference will do? So difference will do a comparison between two of the strings, like Smith. So Smith can be spelled like SMITH also, and Smith can be spelled like SMYTH also. So how much their sounds are matching when they are means told, when what kind of sound both of the string will make. On basis of that, difference is making a comparison. So basically what it will give, it will provide letter between 0 to 4. So basically 4 is similarity most similar, and 0 is least similar, and in between are like less to more to more to more. Okay, so 0 is least similar and 4 is the most similar. So now move on to SSMS, and then we will check how it is working. Okay, so we can take like and also check the syntax for that. So syntax for difference is also very simple. Difference, string expression 1 and then string expression 2. So two strings it will compare. Okay, now move on to SSMS. Then use like Smith, that example only we will check. Select difference, like first string will be our Smith SMITH, and then second string will be our SMYTH. SMYTH. So both are like similar only. So we will compare how they are making the sound. So code is pending. Now execute this. What result we are getting? So we are getting 4 as sound matching, as sound match, ch match. Okay, now control R and then again execute this. So see, 4 means both are very similar in sound. Now we will compare Smith with other letter, like we will compare it with India. Okay, then now check control R, then select this and then execute. So it is means less similar, not that much similar. Okay, then Australia also we will match Australia. Then we can match how much Australia is matching with Smith. Control R and then select this, then execute. So very less matching means 1 it is providing. So between 0 to 4 it will provide you the letter. So 4 is the most matching sound, and 0 is the least matching, and in between are means more to more to more. Okay, so that is clear to everyone, difference function. Okay, so these are also means kind of important, but mostly you will not use this function. But in some scenarios, it can be possible that you have to match the means do the fuzzy matching and all. So in that cases, this difference function is very important. Okay, so now let's move to our next function. So next what we have after difference we have string split. Okay, this is very important function, and for both point of view, for working point of view also, and for interview point of view also. So be clear on this particular function. So the string split function in SQL Server is used to split a string into multiple rows based on a specified delimiter. Okay, so basically what it will do, it will means split the string into multiple rows, like row wise it will provide you value, and that is based on a given delimiter. Okay, so in many cases in companies while working, you will get some data like it will be comma separated, and then you want each of them as an individual value. So in that cases you will use string split also. And whenever you have seen like drop downs are there in many of the application, drop downs are there, and in that drop down if you want to use multi select, so at that time also means row wise value is coming, then we want to means the user will pass comma separated values, and then we want to provide that values into row wise. So at that time also this string split is very function is very important. Okay, so it's extremely useful when working with delimited data. Example, a comma separated list is stored in a single column. Okay, and also check the syntax for this: string split, string and separator. Okay, so calling a string split function is a bit different from other functions. Now we will check how we will call a string split function. So let's check what will be our means value we are getting. So some string value like this we will get India, and then many country name we will get like India, America, and then we will get Canada, Canada, and then also we will get Australia, Leah, then we will get Russia, Russia, and then we want each of them to be separated in single row so that we can use that particular value somewhere. So we will use the string split function. Okay, so how to use this? So for this you don't directly call this, you need to call it like select value from this string split, string underscore split, and then the expression, then your expression what it is required, and insufficient number of argument. So argument we need to supply, so this particular we will supply. So this is the expression that is there. And what is the delimiter here? So here the delimiter is comma, so we need to provide the delimiter also in single quote. Okay, now execute this. So see, you will get a single column with the name value, and that is India, America, Canada, like Russia. So here like this only you can call. So value you must need to provide the value only. Other thing you will not mention. So select the value from string split, and then the string, and then what will be the delimiter. So let's check if another delimiter is also there. Like if we had some like this plus separated. Okay, so plus sign if available there, then for data cleaning part also this particular function is very important, so you need to check this very carefully. Okay, so now with addition it is there. I will copy this, press Ctrl R, remove that result bar, and then press this, then pick your function, pick the string, then paste here. So here our delimiter is plus sign, so we'll mention that, and then execute this. So see, it has splitted them into single row value. Okay, so I think this much is clear for a string split, and we will also practice some use cases when we will go to the master series. Okay, so now comment this. Let's move to the next function. So after string split, what we have? String split, we have the stuff function. So stuff function is also very useful for both perspective, like interview also, and also in your working, means almost regularly you will use these functions in your daily work. So what it is doing? So the stuff function in SQL Server is used to insert a string into another string by deleting a specified length of characters and replacing them with a new string. Okay, so it's especially useful for modifying portion of a string efficiently. So basically, stuff function, what it will do, it will remove a certain part of a string with a different means different string, you can say, or different part that we want to add. So in some cases, if you get a means bad name or something, and you want to replace some of the portion and then add some different portion, then in that cases this stuff function is very useful. Okay, so the syntax for stuff is stuff string expression, then start means from where you want to cut that particular string, start position, and the length means how much you want to cut, and then the replace with expression means which string or expression you want that particular expression to be replaced. Okay, now move on to SSMS, then we will check and then it will be much clearer to us. Okay, so now for stuff function also we will open a new query window. Okay, now here let's take an example like what we have. So we can replace like India, we have DIA, and Indiana is mentioned, like Indiana is the string that we have got, and we want to replace NA with blank, and just we want the India. Then how we will do? We will use the string function for that. Select, then we will use the stuff function for that. Sorry, my mistake. Stuff, so stuff, and then what stuff function requires four arguments. So first argument will be our string, then second argument will be our starting position from where we want to extract the word. So which position? For 1 2 3 4 5 6. So sixth position, from the sixth position we want to replace until seventh position we want to replace. Okay, till seventh, and then we want to replace it by a blank space, blank. Okay, now as stuffed, as stuffed. Now execute this. What result we are getting? Execute. See, we are getting India. So NA it has replaced. Okay. Similarly, if any of the letter you will get like bad name or something, then you can replace using this particular stuff function like India at the rate hash 3456, like this kind of name if it is mentioned, and we want only the country name to be extracted, like Australia. This time we will take Australia, Australia. Okay. Now this string, copy this, we will do it in a separate string, means separate select query we will do, so that I can provide the code to you also if needed. Now paste this here. Okay, now what we want to replace? We want to replace from at the rate till end. So first of all we want the length of this, so that we can know how much letter we need to go. So as I have mentioned in the second part, we have already discussed the length function, so we will use the length function. So I prefer to go and check that particular part 2 also, so that you will be much clearer for all the functions. So select, sorry, len of this particular string. So by this we will be able to know how much character are there in this particular string. Now execute this. So 20 characters. So what we need to do? We need to go from 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10, from 10 till 20, and we want to replace it by blank. Australian, we want to replace it by N. Let's take Australian, we will put. Okay, now control R, then execute this. So see, Australian we are getting. So I think stuff function is also clear to everyone. So now let's move to the next function that we have. So next we have, after stuff we have concat ws. Okay, so this is also useful function, so you can remember this also. So what the concat ws is doing? So the concat ws function in SQL Server is used to concatenate strings with a specified separator. Okay, a very handy function introduced in SQL Server 2017. So after 2017, all the versions of SQL Server will have this concat ws function, and before that means 2014 and 16 will not have this particular function. So that simplifies combining multiple strings with a consistent delimiter. Okay, so consistent delimiter, same delimiter we need to keep. So let's check the syntax for concat ws. So syntax is also very simple. Concat ws separator, by which we want to separate our strings, and then string 1 2 and till n string, n number of strings we can concat using concat ws function. Now let's move to ssms and we will check the working of concat ws. Okay, now press Ctrl R. We can keep them in line. So let's take comment this. Let's take an example, like we have number of strings, like we have names like Ajay, 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 Rahul, Rahul. Then we have Mohan, and we want to concat this particular these strings in one single string. So we will use a concat ws function. Now select concat underscore ws. So by a given separator we want to concat them. So then that is why we are using the concat ws. So let's take we want to concat them by a comma sign. Okay, so first of all you need to provide the delimiter by which you want to separate them, by which you want to concat them, then comma, and then the second argument. So it required at least three arguments, so two strings or then one separator, then put a comma sign also here is pending. Now execute this as concated. Okay, now we will execute this. So you can see Ajay, Rahul, Mohan all become a single string. Okay, now we can also use a different separator here. So let's take addition sign, we will take as the separator, plus sign. So plus as our separator, and then execute this. Both of them we will execute and check how the result is coming. So see, it is a comma concatenated, and this one is plus sign concatenated string. Okay, now let's move to the next function that we have today. So after concat ws we have soundex function. Okay, so what is the working of soundex? So as you know, in difference also this soundex came, soundex word came. Now here also we will check the soundex function working. Okay, so the soundex function in SQL Server converts a string into a four character alphanumeric code. Okay, it converts a string into four character alphanumeric code that represents its phonetic sound. Okay, means how it sounds, that is represented by that particular code. So it is particularly useful for comparing words or strings that might be spelled differently but sound similarly. Okay, such as names. So that Smith and Smith, that example we will take here also. So both are sounding similarly but they are spelled differently. So basically what soundex will do, soundex will provide a four character alphanumeric code, means alphabet are also there and number are also there. Alphanumeric code it will provide, and on what basis it will provide? So basically the first character will be the first character of the string, which we are going to check, and then the number depends upon the below chart. I am showing you the chart. So basically first check the syntax. So syntax for soundex is soundex then a string expression. So single expression we will put here, and then we have this particular chart according to that. So BFPV will come as 1, then CGJK QSXZ will come in 2, then DT will come in 3, and L will come in 4, then MN will come in 5, then R will come in 6, and it will ignore the vowels like A, E, I, O, U, it ignores, and also H, Y, W. And if all together will not make four characters, like four character of alphanumeric code, then what it will provide, it will provide 00 to match the four character. Okay, so now let's move on to ssms and we will check the working of soundex function. Okay, now comment this, control R, and then open a new query window for soundex. So these codes, if you tell, I will provide it to you. Okay, so now working of soundex, how we will check, like check for some select, then soundex, soundex of India we will check what will be the phonetic code for this. India. Okay, as sounded, as phonetic we will mention phonetic code, phonetic underscore code. Okay, now execute this. What we are getting? So see, we are getting the code as I. I is the first character of the string, and then 5 3 5 is for. We will check in the code also what we have in the chart. We will check. So n, for n it is 5. Then here it is showing 5. I, then 5, and 3. 3 is for D, I guess. Here we'll check. So D come in 3. Okay. So 3 is for D, and then why what we have IA. So I and A are vowels, so it will ignore them unless until it is at the first position. So first position because it is providing the character itself. So means alphabet itself. So alphabet it will provide. Otherwise A E I O U the vowel and H W and Y, these letters it will ignore. It will provide 0 for that. Okay, or ignore them, you can say ignore. Okay, it has ignored then other. Okay, and for matching the four character alphanumeric code, it has provided 0 at the end. I for India I, and then 5 for N, then 3 for D. Okay, so I think this is clear to everyone. Now one more code we will check, like Australia name also we will check what it is providing for Australia, the phonetic code. Comment this, paste this, and then change the string to Australia. AUSLIA Australia. Okay, now execute this. Okay, so it is providing A, the first character A, and then AEIOU. It is ignoring this particular vowel, and then for S we have, I will check. For S we have 2, then it is providing 2. Okay, and then this 3. For T and D we have 3. We have already checked. T and D we have 3. Okay, and then R. For R we have PQRR. For R we have 6. Okay, and then what is R? Then I it is ignoring, and then all the others other things after 4 digit it is ignoring. Okay, so this is also clear to everyone. Like 4 coded means 4 alphanumeric code it will provide, and then after any digit is if pending, then it will ignore them all. Okay, because L have the value but it is not providing. I think L has 4 but it is not providing. So this is also clear to everyone. Okay. So SOUNDEX I think is clear to everyone. Now move on to our next function. So after SOUNDEX what we have? We have the space function, and this is the last function of SQL Server system string functions. Okay. Now what the space function is doing? The space function in SQL Server is used to generate a string consisting of a specified number of space. Okay, it is useful when you need to format a string or add padding to your output. Okay, so let's take if we have given two strings and we want some spaces between them, and we can do like here also. Okay, move on to SQL Server and then SSMS, then we will check how the space function will work. So if we have one example, like we have a name Rajkumar, Rajkumar, Raj, and then we have Kumar, Kumar. Like the second string has Kumar, comma, Kumar. Okay, and we want it to be like 5 space between Raj and Kumar. Okay, or something you can take 4 space also. So in that cases, if you want number of space between two of the strings, then we will use the space function. Like two or multiple number of strings you can take. 2, 3, 4, 5, any number of n number of strings you can take. Rajkumar Rao. Rajkumar Rao also we will take. Rajkumar Rao. Okay. Now use the space function. Select, select first string. So Raj. Then let's take plus. We basically need to concat that particular function. Space, space of like we will take 4 digit space, 4 spaces, and then add Kumar, between Raj and Kumar we want 4 space, and then we want 3 space between Kumar and Rao. So space plus concat space, and then let's take 3 character we want between Kumar and Rao, 3 spaces. Okay, now plus this Rao. Okay, now execute this as spaced, spaced. Okay, now execute this, what we are getting. So see, here we are getting 4 space between Raj and Kumar, and then between Kumar and Rao we are getting 3 spaces. Okay, so similarly it is also a very useful function, you can tell, because in some cases we want some of the strings to be having some spaces and all. So basically we can do like this also for achieving this, but space is fine, because by this you can know the number of spaces you are providing, so you cannot make any mistake by using this also, like single quote, and then in the single quote you can provide like 4 space, 1 2 3 4, and in place of this particular space you can provide 3 space, like 1 2 3. So both will work same only. Now execute this, both will provide a same output. See, but in this case, what is the thing? In this case, there are chances of making mistakes. But in this case, you don't make mistake, because you know how much space you are providing. Okay, so that is the space function, and that is the end of our system string functions. Okay, and thank you for watching. And be ready, many more videos are coming, and we are also going to prepare a full series on that SQL server. Then be ready for that also, and do like, share, subscribe, and comment if you need any help from our side, and any logic or any specific means subject you have, then we will topic you have, then we will discuss that also here. And for online trainings and all, you can contact to the given number, we will connect with you. And thank you very much, we'll be meeting very soon. Thank you.